If you get the numbers, right, then definitely.
Let's go, yeah.
Leave the lights on.
Yeah, I'll turn them on, mate. I'm all sorted. I'm just trying to save everyone some cash, but, you know. I'll tell you what, A and B grade is going to be a race to the end to see who gets in the finals. I mean, the top two, they're done. A grade, like that's the beginning, but the rest, it's...
B grade, the last round
yeah. Well, you guys have come from nowhere to sort of just... Because it was Hillman and Northfield Ivers by how far for a while, and then they just... Oh, Hillman have won, but they keep losing.
Well, I think the last round it's Hillman versus Northfield.
Yeah. They should both be in the final.
Yeah, but the way you've got, I think the 5 teams are playing each other.
Yeah.
And any of them could kind of switch a little bit of position.
Yeah. Some of them, like they've got some of the top 16. But two teams they gave up ages ago. So the top. Well, it's done forever. Yeah. Are you going to have 6 or 3?
Is that bigger, is it?
No, C's got 16 games. If you've got 6 teams in the top, there should be 3 teams in the finals. Top team goes through to the grand final, the next 2 play off in the semi. Because what's the...
Strange. I didn't realise there were 6 teams in the
It's not...
So it's a long season if you don't get 6 teams.
I think it's playing 3 games too hard. I think it's exactly the same credit.
Yeah, A and B grade, they're the same. C and D grade, there's very little difference. E and F grade, they're exactly the same. There's no difference between those 2 grades.
So E and F, you could nearly make it, I don't know, north-south or something like that, if you wanted to, just to make it logistics a bit easier.
Yeah.
C and D should be 1. Just be so much easier. Like it doesn't mean really small. It's the same in the thing.
We dropped the grade this year because we're sick of handling forfeits and things like that.
Yeah.
And then you get to, so the first couple of weeks are always hard. Now we've got to the position where we've got too many players.
Yeah. Especially now it's Bond and doing it right.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Okay, so we're just waiting for coverage to start on the frog box. It'll start when the first ball is bowled or when they're just starting to head out in the ground. Welcome to the first semi-final of the RetraVision Premier T20 League between Singleton Irwinians and Shoalwater Bay. Shoalwater Bay have won the toss and have elected to bat first. What promises to be a very, very good game of cricket. We've had some absolute belters this season in the Premier T20 League, and as the umpires are about to step onto the ground, normally means that, and here we go, coverage is starting. So as the umpires walk on the ground, the players will then follow as tradition holds. So Shoalwater Bay, as you can see there, Matthew Skelton, Mitchell Smith, Brendan Gillian, Chris D'Alessandro, captain, Dudley Cortland, Jared O'Brien, Jackson Ward, Joey Teague, Mitchell Oliver, Liam Richards and Matt Rose, while Singleton Irwinians have Chris Loveridge, Mitchell Shallum, Jay Boyd, Brad Ranford, Josh Senior, Tim Hutchison, Anthony Burt, Daniel Jones, captain, Nathan Anderson, Nick Maiolo, the skipper from Claremont, who's playing as their marquee player, young Callan Sprigg, who's been very, very promising this year, and Bryce Evans. Teams are heading out. Wicket tonight, a little bit softer than it has been in previous games. With the heat this week, it's going to be a very, very warm week, and the groundsman, rightly so, is trying to protect his wicket and his square, so there's just a little bit more water in it. Still a lot of grass, which means that the ball will still come through. It'll suit the bowlers who hit the pitch a little bit more, and I think they'll be a little bit harder to hit. So the team that adapts the quickest will be the ones that probably do the best. So play will be starting from the Mahogany Drive end. So Big Josh Senior will be opening the bowling from the Mahogany Drive end. Pulled up a little bit lame the last time we saw them here in the RetraVision Premier T20 League. But somehow he managed to hobble out and was there at the end when they somehow snatched a victory from the jaws of defeat. They were gone the whole way through, other than the last ball when they won. And we're just about away. Matt Rose and Liam Richards will be opening the batting, and we have Matt Rose on strike. So here we go. First ball of the semi-final from Peelwood Reserve. And just as I thought, just back of a length there. Little bit of kick. Just thuds into the pads there. So both teams here coming off a loss on Saturday in their A grade. Shoalwater have had a pretty good run of it post-Christmas, and both with the T20 form and their Saturday form, they're making a late run for it and are a chance to make the finals in A grade. And they've had a really good run in B grade as well. As in comes Big Senior, bowls it just back of a length again. Matt Rose probably a little disappointed himself there, probably missed one. But I dare say he's probably just still getting used to the pace of the wicket. There's no rush. 20 overs is still a long time to bat. It's amazing how many teams just get the pace of it wrong and go too early. That one back of a length again. Just saying, you hit the pitch hard. That hit the pads hard and allowed the batters to cross for a leg by and shoulder off the mark. So just an ideal night for cricket tonight. Really sort of balmy, warm evening. Bit of a rarity for us sitting here with it being warm. We've had all sorts. We've had very Melbourne-like weather for some of these games. There's the left-hander Liam Richards is on strike here. Pitched up a little bit more. Now beats everyone, including the keeper. And umpire didn't like that one. It's a wide. Yeah, so for someone that grew up in Melbourne, we had very Melbourne-like weather early on in the season in particular. It was cold and windy and horrible. But we've started to get these really nice balmy nights. And if you don't have anything else to do tonight, why not come down to Peelwood Reserve as Josh Senior pitches that one up again. And Richards plays that stylishly to mid-on, but no run. I think the big fella here would be better off really looking to hit the wicket. Pitching it up, not going to be the way on this pitch. It'll allow the batters to hit through the line. I think if they can, especially Big Josh Senior, if he can hit the pitch hard, the ball will just stick in the wicket a little bit. Then he comes. And again, just sort of pitched it up, but he's lost his radar a little bit here. It's amazing how many times the left hand and right hand just throws bowlers out. Particularly if there's not too many left-handers floating about, really. I mean, there's a few, but they're middle-order batters, sort of, rather than top order. In comes Senior. Richard just circumspectly just plays that one to the offside. Held the Shoalwater Bay innings together the last time we saw Shoalwater Bay here. Liam Richards. Got a 30-odd from memory and really got Shoalwater up to a total that was competitive. Comes Senior to try to complete the over. And that one just got on Richards a little bit quicker. No harm done in the end. And at the end of the first, we are none for 3 here at Peelwood Reserve. All extras, 2 wides and a leg by. So both batters are still on that dreaded duck. So remember, you can get in touch with us here on the show throughout the match. Just simply jump onto the Peel Cricket Association Facebook page and just send a message through on Messenger. Thank you, Neil Kennedy, again for your input. 29.2 degrees according to the weather snapshot he sent through. Very minimal wind. So it looks like opening the bowling from the highway end is Tim Hutchison, who's been miserly this season. Bowling his right arm off spin. Really picked up the skill. I mean, he hasn't bowled it for that long, to be fair, but every season he gets better and better, and his average and his strike rate and his runs per over is very, very impressive. Just losing his run up a little bit there. He comes right arm over. And Rose just tucks it away through the offside. Little cut shot back with a point, and he picks up 2. He'd be breathing a sigh of relief there. None for 5, Shoalwater. Yeah, he's Timmy Hutch. He's been really, really impressive this season. One of the leading bowlers in the competition. And he comes. Just sort of firing him in. And that's the way to go on this wicket. Wants to really hit the pitch, try to get a little bit of grip. If he floats it up with only the 2 out in the power play, he might be in for a little bit of trouble, giving Rose a free swing, essentially. When he comes again and just hitting the pitch. Just got to make sure he gets the length right, or maybe even make a change in the field to accommodate for it. So the 2 out at the moment, got a long on and a deep mid wicket. And then pretty much a regulation ring field from there on. In comes Hutchison again. A little bit quicker. The beauty of bowling a spinner with the new ball is that it depends on how it hits the pitch. So if it hits the leather with the shiny new ball, it'll skid through, especially on this grassy surface. As Rose tries to work that one around the corner. I only had one man to beat, but he hit it straight to him. So none for 2 off that over there for Hutchison. At the end of 2 overs, we are none for 5 here. Shoalwater Bay versus Singleton Irwinians. RetraVision Premier T20 League, first semi-final. We'll know at the end of this game who will be the first one through to the grand final. Second semi-final next week. Again, live and exclusive here on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Channel, between Mandurah and Hall's Head. Tonight we have Singleton and Shoalwater as Josh Senior comes on to bowl his second over. That's a better length, better area. Tall lad, big and strong. This sort of pitch would suit him. I do think there's, it's not really a risk. I'd nearly have a catcher, a sort of wide first slip, nearly a second slip. I think there'd be a chance. As in comes Josh Senior, pitches that one up. And Liam Richards hits that one on the front foot square through the offside. They take 2. As Chris Loveridge slides nicely there and gets that one back into the bowler's end. So even there, he didn't quite get the middle of the bat, got more the outside edge. Just wonder whether that backward point could be in more of a catching position for an over or so. Early wicket would be really, really beneficial for Singleton as in comes Senior there, and he just beats him for pace. Just got through there, the fuller length. Liam Richards wasn't quite ready for that one and it just beat him for pace. The none for 7 here. We are 3 balls into the third over. Peelwood reserve. In comes big Josh Senior. Pitches it up again and Liam Richards can't quite pierce the field. Another dot ball. It's not a major concern at the moment, but they're not quite turning the strike over. Really need to start at different paces here and learn to drop and run or hit it just a little bit harder, try to beat the field. Here comes Senior there, throws it up. I'm not sure whether that was an attempted slow ball or whether just lost his run up there a little bit. And the last time we saw Singleton, just Senior pulled up a bit lame, bit of a sore back. Might still be carrying remnants of that one as he's trying to get through the season. Then he comes, pitches it up, very, very full, and Liam Richards to be disappointed himself there. He's missed out on one. So none for 7 at the end of 3 overs. So run rate of just under 2.5. So it's not panic stations or anything like that, but I'm sure both these batters would be just a touch disappointed that they haven't quite moved the scoreboard on a little bit more. Here comes Tim Hutchison again for his second over, and Matty Rose just uses the pace there and tickles that fine through a vacant slip. They only get the single there. Outfield's very, very lush today. We're in that sort of funny period of the season where ground staff will be thinking about the winter season and the soccer club that plays here, and similar to other grounds around. Just left a little bit more grass on it, but again too with the heat this week, they're probably a little bit wary of that too. As Hutchison comes going around the wicket to the left-hander. Beats Richards outside the off stump. Didn't quite commit to that shot. I think the shot selection was okay, but he didn't believe it himself. And missed that one. We missed that half volley. He just tried to work one back with a point there. Tried to beat that short third man. But just hit it straight to him. So both batters are really starting to build up the dot balls. So 2 off 11, Liam Richards, and 3 off 10 is Matty Rose. Full toss. doesn't quite get it away. As the field has changed for the right-hander. So, same boundary riders, long on and deep mid-wicket. As in comes Hutchison for his 5th ball. Second over, lost his run-up again. We're not in the best rhythm tonight. Was that one short of a length? And Rose rocks on the back foot, but just doesn't quite pierce the field. And Loveridge very athletically fields that one. Good athlete, Chris Loveridge. Expect him to bowl and want to bowl some of his brisk medium pace. And Hutchison bowls that one quicker and flatter. And Rose disappointed himself there, missed out again. So just a 2 off the over there. And a 4, none for 9. So it's at a point now where both batters would have to start to think about where their boundary options are. With only 2 overs left of the power play, they'd want to make the most of it. And looks like Josh Senior to bowl his 3rd. So it'd be good to see Liam Richards maybe change the length a little bit here, maybe bat a little bit out of his crease or even get back deeper in his crease just to change the length and try to do something a little bit different. In comes Big Josh Senior and probably just missed out there. And this is what tends to happen when you're maybe a little bit circumspect at the start. You just dig yourself a little bit of a hole and you start to panic a little bit. They don't need to. A couple of boundaries and they're back in it. It's only 2 balls. In comes Senior again. Bowls on back of a length. Sits up. Liam Richards just about gets it over. Mid-on. Wicket's a little bit slower today and he probably could have afforded to actually rock back onto the back foot. Get a little bit more time and purchase on that one. They missed out on another boundary. None for 10 now. We're into the 5th over. Neil Kennedy thinks 160 is the winning score here. It's going to be that's a big score from where they are now. As Rose takes a couple of steps down and hits over the top. First bit of aggression. And that's the first boundary for Shoalwater. Good shot there by Matt Rose. Must have a little mic on. Do you reckon he's got a mic on? Listen to my advice. Took a couple of steps, changed the length. Didn't allow the bowler to dictate terms. Was able to pick that one up over the top. Pretty risk-free shot. Good boundary. None for 14. Takes another step down the wicket. Hits over mid-off this time. Good bit of fielding. No, it's not. Didn't get there. And that's another boundary. So 2 in a row. None for 18. And just like that, Matty Rose moves on to 11 off 14. Scores now none for 18. It's like I said, it wasn't panic stations by any stretch of the imagination, but it just needed one of these 2 guys to change it up a little bit. In comes Senior. What's he got here? Throws it up again. Wrong length. And that's 3 in a row. Straight back past the bowler. And Rose, 15. Off 15 now. None for 22. And in a blink of an eye, Shoalwater are back in the game. Josh Senior really needs to take control here. Just not using what he's blessed with. He's big and strong. Really needs to hit the pitch. Not the sort of pitch you want to actually pitch it up on today. So mid-off goes out to long off this time. It's a much better, probably a little bit too short. Rose probably expecting that one. Played a lovely pull shot. And that's 4 in a row. 4 boundaries in a row. And Shoalwater, just like that, a none for 26. 17 off the over there. It's a big, big over for Shoalwater. What was needed in the second last over of the power play. Seen this from Matt Rose a couple of times this season, a couple of times we've seen him. they've just been little cameos. It'd be good to see him do it for a little bit longer and really set up the platform for some of the other batters later in the order here for Shoalwater Bay. So we've got to change a bowler here at the Old Coast Road end. And it'll be Singleton's club coach. Done a great job in his time at Singleton Irwinians in Chris Loveridge. One of the more successful coaches in the PCA. Then he comes right arm over the wicket. Athletic action and very strong shoulder at the end. Liam Richards does the right thing there. Just guides that to third man. Matty Rose has the hot hand. Gone over to you, Matty. See what you can do. The fine leg and third man are the two boundary riders here for the final over of the power play. As in comes Chris Loveridge. Nice athletic approach. And good pace. So a bit of a shoulder bowler sort of Loveridge, and this wicket will suit him there. So really hit the pitch. A lot more difficult to play than the bowlers who sort of pitch it up a little bit today and look to kiss the wicket. So remember, shout for LBW. I think there was a little bit of bat in that one. Smashed it, according to Terry here. So he's hit it high. And Matt Rose, unfortunately, that's the end of his little cameo. And Skipper Jones takes that one off the bowling of Loveridge. The score here, testing. Sorry, everyone. Just got a bit of a dud message. Sound is working. So, batter's crossed as that ball was in the air. So Matt Rose, unfortunately, out for 17. The score is 1 for 27 here. We are one ball left of the power play. 1 for 27. Liam Richards, and he is joined by Dudley Corton. So we've got two left-handers out here. And Loveridge again, just back of a length, gets a little bit of lift out of this wicket. So at the end of the power play, scores are 1 for 27. Here at Peelwood Reserve as the umpire looks like he's ready to bowl. He's coming on a bowl there, gives it the big wind-up, sort of. Yeah, but all keepers want to be bowlers. So skipper Daniel Jones bringing himself on to bowl, placing Josh Senior from the Mahogany drive end. Dudley Cortland on strike. In a little bit of forms, coming off 2 very good scores for Shoalwater. And coming at the right time of the season is when you want to start getting into a bit of form. Very stylish left-hander, Terry. Yep. So with the end of the power play, haven't seen a spread of the field necessarily. Deep mid-wicket and a third man. Jones starts with a wide down the leg side. Can't exactly have a crack at any of his bowlers now. He's doing that. In he comes, right arm over the wicket. Attacking that leg stump. Not sure if you got any bat on that one there, Cortland. See what the umpire does. Nope. Umpire lifts his leg and lets us know it was a leg by. So Cortland's at least got up the other end. Moves the team score on to 1 for 29. Liam Richards 5 off 17. Comes Jones, bowls that one back of a length, and it allows Liam Richards to whack that one around the corner off the back foot. A couple of bounces for 4 to the backward square leg boundary, and that'll be a bit of a relief for the young man here. 9 off 18 now. And sometimes some batters, they just, they bat with boundaries and they just need one. They just need one to get going, Hit a boundary and you're sort of, right, okay, I'm away. So that might be the one. I want you to be fair. Nice sort of shortish ball on your hip. That medium pace is very inviting. In comes Jones, and that's a better length, better area. Much better. More over middle and off. And Richard's still searching for the ball. Just pushed at it. He moves 9 off 19, 1 for 33. Run rate of just over 5 here. Shoalwater Bay as Jones just changes length up a little bit there and feels it in his follow through, and as bowlers do, always sort of threaten to throw it. Haven't quite worked out what the point of that all is really, but anyway. Yeah, it looks good. Someone on TV do it, and so you sort of follow it. Comes Jones there, and they're the ones that have been troubling Liam Richards, the ones that are really full, sort of probably just a smidge fuller than half volley length, especially that line. Just a bit late on them, so maybe just not quite watching the ball as clearly as he should be. And comes, and that's much better, more forceful shot through the offside. Take the quick single. Bryce Evans fields that one and gets the throw in, but is able to get the one. And after 7 overs, we are 1 for 34, Shoalwater Bay. RetraVision Premier T20 League. We're in the first semi-final here at Peelwood Reserve of what's been a very, very entertaining competition this year. Hopefully you've all enjoyed it. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed some of the innovations this year with not only the frog box, which was obviously here last year, but a little bit of commentary. We're trying our best. A little bit of pre-game and post-game. So we had both captains have their say pre-game and got a little bit of information. Pitch reports. It's Loveridge back on for his second over from the highway end. Bowls that one short. And Liam Richards didn't quite get onto it, but hits it into a vacant sort of straightish mid-wicket, we'll say. And they take 2 runs there. Just not really timing the ball tonight. He moves on a 12 off 23, and Shoalwater Bay 1 for 36. into the 8th over. Run rate of 5. They'd want to be picking it up a little bit from here on through as Loveridge just generating some good pace. And probably bowls the classic heavy ball, just sort of not quite expecting it. And it just sort of comes onto you a little bit quicker. And with this pitch where it just holds up, digs in a little bit, we might skid through depending on how it hits the seam. Ideal bowler as in he comes. Very athletic approach to the crease and really asking a lot of questions here of the batters. 1 for 3 and he's halfway through his second over. So very, very good start here by the club coach. So we've got the T20 captain and the club coach from either end here. Just trying to set the tone, set the example for Singleton Irwinians. Defending champions in this competition. And he comes, bowls that one back of a length, and Liam Richards hoiks that one around the corner and gets a 6 over a very sort of straightish fine leg. Welcome runs. 18 off 26 he is now, 1 for 42 at Shoalwater Bay. So it's more a line thing, I think, here. If the Singleton bowlers get more leg side, allows Liam Richards to swing his arms through the leg side, and looks like his favourite side today. So they'd want to sort of stick to that offside a little bit more, that off stump. Comes, and there he goes, bowls the same length, and over the head of fine leg there for another 6. Not sure whether that might have been half a chance. Would have been a difficult one. Maybe if it was a foot taller. That's definitely the wrong line. Length probably not too bad, but the wrong line there by Loveridge. And gets more onto the offside. And Liam Richards, a little bit of poise now. Just worked that one back with a square. Allowed it to run off the face for a single. And a very productive over. Last 3 balls went for 13. My math's not so great. The score now 1 for 49. And it's amazing what a couple of boundaries does. Just changes the perspective, changes the mood. Good to see one of the young stars of Peel cricket. Taylor Flowers here, drinking some of the sponsors' product. Good to see a bit of Everlast. Gone the lemon zest as well. That's my favourite. So, and skipper starts with a wide again. And that is the 50 up for Shoalwater Bay. And run rate's moved up to 6.25 with that productive over. And Liam Richards now 25 off 28. And he's back on track. In comes Daniel Jones. And Liam Richards has decided this is it. It's time to go. Just made a step towards the bowler. And although he didn't get all of it, fairly safe shot with a big gap there at mid-wicket. Very typical of T20 cricket. I know watching some of the Big Bash coverage and some of the players, Mark Waugh in particular, it's one of his pet hates. He just thinks it's too easy a run there for batters, just through a vacant mid-wicket. And Portland's second ball he's faced, sits onto his back foot and backloads. Hits the ball hard to mid-off. Takes a single and gets the hot hand of Liam Richards back on strike. Wouldn't have thought that about an over ago, but he's found a little bit of form now. Richards hits over the top and gets enough of it to get another 4, another boundary. So Singleton not quite making the most of their power, the fact that they're outside of power play, and they've probably kept too many fielders inside. So I always think it's a bit risky. So with that shot, long off come in. Unfortunately, that was probably one of his more stylish shots of the night, but just picked out the cover fielder. Liam Richards now 30 off 31, 2 4s and 2 6s. 1 for 56, Shoalwater Bay. Here we're in the 9th over, 2 balls left of the 9th over. And that one's back of a length. Too much room there, and Richards able just to play a cut shot back with a point to third man, and they take an easy single. 1 for 57. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here, Singleton, whether they bring spinner back on, whether they change the pace. They've got Boyd, the leg spinner, bowled at the back end last time, bowled the death overs. In comes Jones, and Cortland just using his experience there, just knocks that into the leg side field, takes a single. That moves Shoalwater Bay on to 58 at the end of 9, 1 for 58. So yeah, just wonder whether they'll think about just changing the pace here a little bit. Singleton. Looks like there is going to be a change of bowler from that highway end. And just as I mentioned, looks like the leg spin of Jay Boyd. He's on. Probably not a bad move. Well, I do think probably one short on the leg side here. Because a leg spinner on a slowish sort of pitch probably wants a little bit more protection out this side. That's a leg spinner talking here. A very strong offside field, so he's backing himself. That's okay. He gets his line right. You're good. In comes Boyd, right arm leg spin. And real change of pace here. He's bowled that one really slow to start. So remember, you can contact us here in the coverage, just on that one's lofted high into the evening sky, and that's 6 runs. This time by Cortland. And I thought this might be the case. I just think they've got this field slightly wrong here. They need another one over here on the leg side. I think it's sitting in the left-hander's hitting zone. Here comes Boyd. Throws that one up. Except this time, Cortland's just scooped that up. Oh, and yes, finally caught. The temptation was too great. He probably took even more pace off that one, did Boyd. Very brave. But that's the end of Dudley Cortland, unfortunately. Just chipped that one up high to the cover fielder. And although it bobbled around in the hands, at the end of the day, it says caught. And that's a bit unfortunate there for Shoalwater. Would like to have seen Cortland bat a little bit longer. So the catch taken by the A-grade captain, Brad Ranford. Made a bit of hard work out of what was probably a simple catch, but in his, if I'm going to back him in a little bit here, Brad, who's been very, very good to the show, would have had a lot of spin on that ball. So a lot of slice, because Cortland didn't get any of that at all. Really thick edge. So 2 for 64 now. We're in the 10th over. Shoalwater Bay versus Singleton Irwinians. And Joey Teague is the incoming batter, and he's on strike to the leg spin of Jay Boyd. It's 1 for 6. 6 and out. Very much backyard sort of stuff there. Take that. In comes Boyd, just nice and slow, and Teague just works that one backward of point. With a short third man, and gets off the mark straight away. It's Liam Richards back on strike here, so The long on's now moved a little bit squarer, probably a better field position. And that one just back of a length there and just sits up on this slowish pitch, straight to that fielder there on the boundary that I just pointed out, sort of a wide long on. Field is changed for the right-hander. We have a deep square leg and a straightish long on for the right-hander Joey Teague, who plays a nice textbook forward defence. Very rare to see. In T20 cricket, that ends the 10th over. 2 for 66. So the My Cricket projected score, which is a pretty basic sort of algorithm, I dare say, is projecting 134. So I think if Shoalwater got 134, they'd be okay with that one. Probably like a few more, but they'd take that, and that sets up a decent run chase. We've seen just about every game here where the run chase under lights is been slightly difficult, and it's not really because the pitch changes much. It's more the fact that a lot of inexperienced batting at night, really. And I guess the pressure of chasing. Although we have seen enough teams win chasing, don't get me wrong. And we have a change of bowler here from the mahogany drive end, and young Callan Sprigg, who bowled very, very well the last time we saw him here on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Channel. Singleton's last game. Just a absolute treadmill or production line of good young fast bowlers here in Peel Cricket at the moment. Well, he's got a very, very good coach, yep. But just every team's got at least one, if not two, young. They're all quick, strapping lads. In comes on Sprigg. Good bit of pace there. Joey Teague just works that one to third man and they take a single. It'll be a good learning curve here for the young man. So both batter. I mean, you've got Liam Richards, the left-hand, right-hander, and he's on 33 of 34, so be testing his control of his line and length. To see what sort of skill set he brings to the table. He's got some slow balls or a good bouncer. Then he comes again. Got that one back of a length. And just sits up in this wicket. And Liam Richards unable to really get back for the second. He sat back deep and was probably on the back foot for just that split second longer than he wanted to be. And he just couldn't quite get in and out of the box. Joey Teague's looking really quick between the wickets here. As in comes Sprigg. Hitting a good length very, very early, none for three in his first over. Impressive so far, although it is early doors. 2 for 69. The projected score just drops down, as it does every ball. The algorithm works per ball. But like I said, I think 130 plus, 130, 140, be a very, very good score to defend. Just got through that one a little bit quicker, did the young Sprigg. And probably got onto Teague a little bit quicker than he expected. Only able to really pat that one back through the offside. Didn't beat the field. So it'll be interesting to see what these two do over the next couple of overs, whether one decides to take it on a little bit, take a little bit of a risk and get a few boundaries, which will just change the whole game. And that one's pitched up really full, and Joey Teague's able to work that one to fine leg for a single. That ends quite an impressive first over there by Callan Sprigg. None for 4. And the score here after 11 overs is 2 for 70. So crowd's starting to build up here at Peelwood Reserve. As I guess teams have had their training session. So local clubs around the Mandurah area probably start coming down and start watching the semi-final here. It's been an exciting competition, and for some of the clubs. Yes, Mandurah and Hall's Head, they'd be a little bit of scouting, trying to see who they might be coming up against and if they were to win next week, of course. But we're going to have a real intense game here, and I think both teams just wary. A semi-final, it's what finals does, really puts the pressure on. So Boyd to bowl his second over. To the right-hander, Joey Teague. Really slow. So this is going to be a real test. And we'll see what Joey Teague's got in his locker. Got a deep backward square now and a deep mid-wicket as well as a long-on boundary riders. Only the three. As in comes Boyd. Really tantalising with his leg spin at the moment. Really slow. And Joey Teague plays a nice sweep shot. Doesn't quite get all of it. And gets to that deep backward square and they take a single. So with the pace being so slow and the pitch being so slow, it's important that Teague uses the whole depth of the crease. Anything that's vaguely short, everyone has to get right back in the crease and really make the most of it and hit the ball hard. The left-hander, we have a deep mid-wicket and a forward square leg. As Boyd just pretty much bowls to his field there. Just bowls that one into the wicket. And Richards only hits that one to the deep square leg, takes a single. So Singleton will be happy with the way this is going at the moment. Pretty much sort of like they're both just dancing around. No one really wants to take a chance or take a risk. So they're both doing the same thing. And Teague would be disappointed with himself there. That was a boundary ball. That had to go. And he's missed that one. Not sure how that wasn't a wide, to be fair. But anyway. Top ball in the end. They all build a little bit of pressure on the batting team here. Got to hit this hard, swing hard. So with no pace on the ball, there's no real value to just sort of trying to tickle it around the corner. He's got to time his movement well and look to hit it hard. Here comes Boyd. We'll see what he's got here. A little bit quicker, a little bit flatter. And just tying Joey Teague up here with a lack of pace. So 1 for 10 at the end of his second over, Jay Boyd. And at the end of 12, 2 for 72. So, yeah, like I said, if this was a boxing game, they'd be seeing the two boxers just sort of dancing around, not quite, yeah. Really need one of these two teams to take the game on here. And it's probably got to be Shoalwater, really, because they've got to set the tone. They've got to set the score. So 2 for 72. It's not a train wreck or disaster by any stretch of the imagination, but they don't want to waste too many balls here as Liam Richards basically picks up on the messaging and tried to hoik that one through the leg side. Probably a good thing he didn't get onto that one. Because unless he hit that over that square leg fielder, he might have hit it straight down his throat. So pretty much like the last time we saw Liam Richards, it's probably his job to bat out the rest of this and see how many he can help his Shoalwater team get to. In comes Sprigg. And Liam Richards takes a couple of steps down the wicket and hits that one over, long on for 6. And again, just like that, just changes the complexity. And we'll use the boxing analogy here. Someone's thrown a punch. Made a connection and just shaken up the opposition here a little bit. So Liam Richards, 41 off 38 now with 3 sixes and 2 fours, 2 for 78, Shoalwater. And that forces a change. Long on moves back. The third man, deep square, long on, long off. Not a bad reply there by the young bowler, Talon Sprigg. Building up a good head of steam here. Nice pace. So if he can be complimented for being hit for 6, it's probably the fact that he was consistent with his length that allowed the batter to actually go through and play that shot. So, not a bad thing. Learning as in he comes, charging in, right arm over. I was on back of a length, and Richards probably tries to hit that one too hard. And mistimed that one completely and missed. Probably should have been another 4-ball. It might sound critical, but they're the ones you get frustrated with. And the last thing Liam Richards wants to do now is get out. He wants to be here at the end, so don't get too frustrated. It's okay. Let's see what the young bowler's got here. Is it up? It's a good length. Richards calls weight. Correct call. And as he knew it beat the fielder, or was just past the fielder enough, he then took the single. So good display of running between the wickets there and calling. Brings the right-hander on strike. No real change in the field here. See what Teague does. Takes a little step forward. Works that 1-2. Mid-on. Takes him on. And I tell you what, I reckon if that was a direct hit, that would have been out. So Bryce Evans a bit unlucky. Didn't miss by much. Umpire saying that if that hit, it would have been a call for the third umpire. Rennie, we ain't got a third umpire here, mate. It's all you. So, 2 for 80 at the end of all that. 13 overs gone. Teague on strike to the leg spin of Jay Boyd. Bowling it really slow. And that's a much better execution of the shot there. Hit that one a lot harder. A lot more conviction. And 2 to Joey Teague there. So that's exactly what he needed to do. So just time the swing, just delay it a little bit, and then hit it hard. Got a big gap to hit there. We'll see what Boyd comes back with here. A little bit quicker. I thought that would be the case. Teague just able to work that one with that deep square leg, and they take the single. 2 for 83. Joey Teague moves on to 8, and Liam Richards on 42 or 41. Really, really good second half of his innings here. Liam Richards was really in a bit of a hole early on, but amazing what a couple of boundaries does. Backed himself in. He's now caught up, and he's just a ball ahead. And here we go. This is a much better field for the leg spinner. We've got a long on, a deep mid-wicket, and a deep backward square. Much more what I would expect. Throws that one up outside off stump, and Richards just works that one. Wide of long off, and gets back for 2. I think Joey Teague fell over there. I'm not sure he dived intentionally. Looked good. Good for the camera. So for all you there watching, that's Joey Teague put on a bit of entertainment for you all. Oh, one short. Nice little sweep shot around the corner here by Richards, who moves on to 46 and the score on to 87. There's one or two of you that have texted in or messaged in saying there's no audio. Well, I've listened in. I've got headphones onto the YouTube coverage and I'm hearing it loud and clear. So thinking it might be at your end, unfortunately. Tested it a number of times. Sorry? Yeah, turn the volume up, Terry says. Or throws that one right up. And Teague unable to hit that one through. So at the end of 14 overs, 2 for 87 with 37 balls remaining. And I think We need Richards to sort of go through to the end here and make as big a score as he can and take it as deep as he can. And I think Joey T probably needs to take a risk or two here. And they need some boundaries. 8 wickets left. So there's plenty of batting left in the shed. Platform has been set. So it's time to maybe just step up a gear. The projected score by the My Cricket algorithm. Like I said, it's a pretty basic sort of system. It says 1, 2, 4. And to me, that's probably about 10, 15 short, I would have thought, of par. I think it's about a 135, 140 sort of wicket. Really good conditions here. Not a breath of wind tonight, really. Quite still, quite balmy. The crowd's starting to build up even more. The light's starting to take full effect here at Pillwood Reserve. And change of bowler, we have the Singleton marquee player in Nick Maiolo. Very, very experienced WACA Premier grade player as Liam Richards hits that for 4 and that brings up his 50. Very, very good 50 here. 50 off 45. That's 3 4s and 3 6s. Very, very important innings here for his Shoalwater Bay side. This is the second time we've seen Richards really sort of anchor the Shoalwater Bay innings. And that was a very, very good shot. So it's brought a slight change in the field. Very leg side dominant. As in comes Maiolo on left arm over the wicket. And that is out. Wow. Just like that. So Liam Richards caught up with that one, and just, I'm not sure if that was a glove or just off the face, but just chipped that to a leg gully nearly. I mean, it's a short, fine leg, but he's in so close. It's nearly a catching position. And that ends Liam Richards, 50 exactly. 50 off 46 deliveries. And that's a big, big wicket there for Singleton. Shoalwater now 3 for 91. Very good innings there by young Liam Richards, who really been the mainstay. And he'd be disappointed that he got out there. Just really starting to turn it on. Probably a lucky wicket there, but you take him anyway. But good innings there by Liam Richards, and really got his team back in this. 3 for 91. We're in the first semi-final of the RetraVision Premier T20 League. What a fantastic competition we've got down here. This is a real, real tight game. So incoming batsman is Jackson Ward, Shoalwater Bay. 3 for 91. We are in the 15th over. So Jackson Ward is met with a deep mid-wicket, a long on. And that's about it, really, as the boundary riders. Everyone else is in close. Trying to stop that single, and we have a run-out chance. I think about halfway down there, Jackson Ward realised that it was going to his end. And he went from first to about 5th. Very, very quickly. Single in the end. And this one's hit high. Hit long. Oh, great bit of fielding there on the boundary. Saved 6 runs. Nathan Anderson, very athletic. The second week in a row we've seen that. That's a fantastic piece of fielding. So Joey Teague thought he got all of that. And athletically, Nathan Anderson dived back over the line, tapped it back inside the play and kept it to only 2. As Teague plays that one more of a paddle around the corner. Or was that Ward that hit that one? Sorry, they only got 1 then all that, did they? Okay, sorry, no, I was right. So Teague got that one around the corner. Good change of pace there. Marley got on a bit flatter and a bit quicker. an eventful over there for everybody. 3 for 95 at the end of 15. So 3 for 95. 1 for 8 at the end of Nick Maiolo's first over. So, back end of this, the first innings of It's the first time we've seen the zing stumps flashing, lights starting to take full effect, and this is when it's a real beautiful sight on a night like tonight. So 16th over being bowled here. Boyd bowls another over of slow leg spin, although he changed his pace with that first one. It's the second ball of the over. Teague just takes a quick single to that short mid-wicket there. Moves the score on to 96. So Joey Teague on 12 off 19. Boyd bowling his last over. And Ward just chips that one into a vacant sort of mid-on, I would say. Or a straight mid-wicket. Not his best shot, but at this point of the innings, it doesn't matter. He's on 2 off 3. 3 for 97 of Shoalwater. And really looking for a few boundaries here to pick up the run rate. As Teague probably misses out again. A little bit of bat on that. We'll see. Confirm. Yep. It's got a little tickle on that one. Around the corner. I don't know if he smashed it. 3 for 98. And again, just moving the field here. Sorry, the pace. Changing the pace beautifully is. One's a bit quicker, one's a bit slower. Another good spell of bowling here by Jay Boyd, the leg spinner. Just a little bit flatter. Ward unable to beat the backward point, and that ends his spell. 4 overs, 1 for 20. Good little spell there by the leg spinner. And at the end of 16 overs, 3 for 98. So we have 4 overs remaining here in the first innings of the first semi-final as the crowd starts to build. Some of the Mandurah players starting to come down to see who they might play. Potentially if they get through next week. But back here we've got Claremont's Nick Maiolo, very seasoned campaigner back at Premier Cricket. Runs every single year. And just bowl some handy little left arm. Slow. Just changing the pace. Teague hits that one long into the night sky. Deep mid-wicket there. Bryce Evans doesn't quite get to that one. And he's been teased all night. Be it run-outs or that one there. He might have dug his thumb into the ground as that ball more or less half-volleyed to him there. The fact Teague didn't quite get onto that helped him. He gets another 2. He moves on to 15. And the score is now 3 for 100. So not the time where you really be great to middle one here at some stage. Just mistimed everything really here, Joey Teague. They really need a boundary or 2 to push the score up. And you can just see there, as I mentioned, he pitch it in, like really hit the pitch. Just sort of sits up. So we have a straight deep mid-wicket. We have a forward square leg, a long on, a long off. As the boundary riders here. Teague misses another one, another dot ball. They're just building up here. So 3 for 100. We have 20 balls remaining. They'd love a run of ball at least here to get to a 120. Pretty deep batting lineup, Singleton and Irwinians. They'd have to bowl very, very well to defend 120. I think Shoalwater, they'd like a few more. Teague works that one to long on. Thinks about 2, but the long on fielder charges in quickly. Young Sprigg and gets the ball back. No chance in the end. So Jackson Ward, probably free swing here. Needs a boundary. Well, they're not giving him any room to swing. And he gets through a very cheap over there. So 3 off there. Only 3 runs off the 17th over. Score 3 for 101. So we have Tim Hutchison back on from the Old Coast Road end. He'll probably bowl out. None for 4 off his 2. He's been very, very miserly, and it shows the control that the Singleton Irwinian spinners have and have had all season. It's been one of their strengths this year, their spin attack, led by this man who's about to bowl here. And wherever he's bowled, he's done well. He's done well for the Peel Cricket Association when he's played some rep cricket. The WA Country 11 skipper. And sets his field. He's got a deep mid-wicket, backward square leg, long on, long off, and a deep cover. In he comes, bowling his right arm off spin. Was that one flat and short? Now it's chipped to the deep cover, who didn't have to move too much. And Joey Teague, unfortunately, that's the end. Caught on the boundary by Nathan Anderson, who a few overs earlier put on an absolute athletic display, stopping a certain 6. And that's the 4th Shoalwater Bay wicket to fall. Probably not the one they wanted. Although the incoming batter might have a little bit more timing on his side and might be able to hit a few boundaries away. So 3 or 4 boundaries here would change the whole complexity of the innings and really give Shoalwater a really good first innings score. So 4 for 101, the start of the 18th over. Joey Teague caught by Nathan Anderson off the bowling of Tim Hutchison. Incoming batter for Shoalwater Bay is Mitchell Smith. So the batters did cross as that ball was in the air. So Jackson Ward on strike. Ward tries to hit that one hard. Only manages to get that one to long on. 4 for 102 is the score now. Shoalwater Bay. They would dearly, dearly love a boundary or 2 here, if not more. So full toss and gets away with that one. But Smith is off the mark. Score is now 4 for 103. So 118 is the projected score. They need a few more than that. And the long handle taken there and hit well. And there's a much needed boundary there for Shoalwater. Mitchell Smith swinging his hands through fast. So here's the boundary the second ball faced. 4 for 108. We have 1 ball left of the 18th over here. And they desperately love another one, if not a 6. And a few risks need to be taken here. Plenty of wickets in hand. That one's quicker and flatter. And well taken there by the keeper. And Hutchison comes back using his guile and experience. And Smith just edges that one through to the keeper. Takes a really good catch. And that there is the fifth over. Sorry, the fifth wicket to fall. Mitchell Smith out for 5. Score now 5 for 108 at the end of 18 overs. So the incoming batter is the captain, Chris D'Alessandro. And they really, really need to pick this up. So 12 balls remaining. They get a runner ball from here. They get to 120. And I dare say that's below par here tonight on a pretty good wicket. Even though it's a little bit slow, it's still a good wicket to bat on. And they're probably 10 or 15 runs short at the moment. But you'd be amazed what a few boundaries can do. And we have Maiolo to continue from the mahogany drive end. Rolling to Jackson Ward, who's looking at a deep square, deep mid-wicket, a long on and a long off. And he hits that one high towards long on. And Bryce Evans comes in and this time gets to it. And he'd be very relieved because the ball's been teasing him all night, either with run-outs or catches. That one carried just. And that's another wicket to fall. And Shoalwater really need to be smart here. They can't afford to just hit wildly into the sky and basically hit dot balls and get out. They need runs. Every run's vital here. So Brendan Gillian is the incoming batter here. Batsman crossed, so Captain D'Alessandro will be on strike. To the left arm bowling of Nick Maiolo. And yet again we ask, if you are going to come down and watch the game and you're going to park at behind the bowler, mahogany drive end, turn your lights off. The headlights just go straight into the bowler, the batter and the keeper's eyes. Plenty of light here, you should be able to see, so turn the headlights off. So D'Alessandro will have to do something special here, the skipper. Cameo 10 or 12 not out here would really help his team. In comes Maiolo. And that just stuck in the pitch there and he just mistimed it. Probably just about set up on the back foot here. Set back, set deep. A slow wicket. Works onto the back foot, hits it on back of point. They take a quick single and get in. A bit of speed there by Gillian. D'Alessandro off the mark. Shoalwater onto 109. 6 for 109. 9 balls remaining of this, the first innings. RetraVision Premier T20 League first semi-final. Singleton versus Shoalwater. And another dot ball. Just dug a big, big hole here at the Shoalwater Bay batters. Really couldn't afford for Liam Richards to get out when he did. And when he did, it's just caused a real sort of hold up in the scoring. And Gillian chips that one to long off. They take a single. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. We have 7 balls remaining, 6 for 110. Let's see what skipper D'Alessandro can do from here. They'd love a boundary, and he hits high, hits hard, hits it straight to Evans, who dives forward, and that would have been an absolute ripper of a catch. They are the hard ones. Running in full pace, diving forward. There's so much that can go wrong there. Dentist's dream, that one. But he's done well to pick that up and get that one in. He's a bit disappointed himself, but I think that was a very, very difficult chance. I wouldn't be too disappointed. But the ball has followed him all night. That one's harsh to call that one a. Well, Terry McNeil here is being the harsh judge, not me. I said that. I think he's done well to get his hands to it, but the veteran scorer here has basically said, "Nope, drop catch. That's a fine." He's a harsh judge, he is, Terry. Here we are, final over. Tim Hutchison to bowl that from the Old Coast Road end. D'Alessandro hits that high towards long on, towards long off. That man Evans again. Might as well strap the pads on and just bat. Yeah. Coming from long off to long off. Hutchison. So 6 for 112. 5 balls left. Swing and a miss. So Tim Hutchison is 2 for 12. He's into his last over here. He's bowling the final over as a spinner. Showing yet again why he's one of the leading bowlers in the competition. Just can't get through the field. And this is really, really not what Shoalwater Bay. They really need a boundary. They need 2 or 3 boundaries, really, but 1 would be very welcome. And Gillian tries to hit that one, but doesn't quite beat the straight mid-wicket. And he gets a single. Score moves on to 113. D'Alessandro. Let's see what he can do here. Charges down the wicket. Just about reaches it. Chips that one into the air. And gets a much-needed boundary to a wide long on, straightish mid-wicket. Doesn't matter how they get him. 6 for 117. We have 1 ball remaining. Here comes Hutchison to bowl the final ball innings. And D'Alessandro hits that one stylishly through the offside. Cover drive. They take the 2. Can they get there? They do in the end. And that ends the first innings here of the RetraVision Premier T20 League first semi-final between Singleton Irwinians and Shoalwater Bay. Singleton Irwinians batting first, put on 6 for 119. So Singleton will be chasing 1-2-0 to take a step into the grand final of the RetraVision Premier T20 League, looking to defend the title they won last year. We will be back in about 10 minutes' time for the run chase and to see who will be the first finalist. Will it be Shoalwater? Will they be able to defend this score? Or will Singleton be able to chase the score and get themselves into the final? We don't know. Finals are funny old things. But we'll be back in about 10 minutes' time.
You haven't found a mistake by then.
Too late.
Make it work. make it work. Get creative.
I don't like to make it work, I like it to be
Yeah, I
right.
know.
Aussies won again.
Sorry about the, I didn't see your signal when I scored the one short.
That's because we're a bit late on the
Oh, because I
work.
thought, when I'm looking in the sun, I couldn't see.
And you guys should probably wear white shirts out.
Well, this is very nice. Yeah, they do one every year.
The sit state of
Yeah.
It's
the
dusty.
darker shit.
It is, you're right. I understand what you're doing. And the common thing.
One of the problems, we did it. We scored the 2 and thought, well, we'll go for next door. We're looking at you. Sorry.
Okay.
little celebration on the sunset. Oh yeah, we were sitting going,
Frog box heard that as well. You know, you're in tomorrow night.
yeah.
Let's go for a free food and drinks. Let's try with some of the Singleton.
We reckon Australia might be about Steve Smith's obviously one of the best ever, but he's not a kid when he put his back.
This injury may be the best that's
And the
happened.
guy they're probably never even scored it. They probably don't even know it exists. Timmy David. He's been tearing it up in world cricket.
The rest of the world knows that Tim David. Australia doesn't.
And he's probably the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
I scored at a few of the Futures games before COVID.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to wait his own. I just thought, why isn't he in the shield side? She was good.
Yeah, no, he's
Big hitter.
yeah, he's worked out much better to do. This is what he can do. Like, he's going to make a lot of money when you only hit 20 off 12. And that's all he has to do. If he can do that, if you can hit 20 off 12 consistently, so say in 10 hits, if you can do it 5 times, he's going to be in there.
And he can hit big.
Oh, yeah. I use a bit ball, but you break. You've got to be brave. You've got to be.
You're going to have no fear.
You've got to tell that little bloke on your shoulders to make get off and just go. Because it's not going to come off at the time.
That would have surprised a lot of people in Australia that he is the biggest money man from Australia, Tim David. Who the hell?
Well, the ones that don't understand. Yeah.
I know Tim David. I've had a few discussions. I thought I heard your voice.
Well, I had to find him, didn't I, after you left the shed open. I thought, well, I better close it for him.
No, Benny was there. Benny was using the mower. When I left. Yeah.
I'll let you off then, Terry.
So, no, Benny was mowing the wicket. I got Benny to mow the wicket. He was putting everything on. Did he leave it open? Did he? Yeah, the lock was there.
I'm just winding you up.
Well, I'll tell Benny off. I left Benny with the mower.
Yeah, that's alright then. I'll let you off, Terry.
But Benny was drinking while mowing the wicket. So
You want me on Saturday?
same one.
Same one. Play well.
Yeah, the same one. And they give us a fresh wicket for the last game.
Number 2.
Number 2 for the last game. Nice draft on that. They'll finish you guys off, and then the juniors have got a game after the break.
After all of our games.
We finish next week. The juniors have still got games to go.
And there's the few corners, isn't it? Is that Essex? So you real Essex lad then? So you on the show and all that?
Corn and bread. Yeah.
I'm starting to work out this Essex person must be a bit silly.
What's that?
But the only Essex person I know is silly.
Yeah. Fair enough, Terry.
They're normally naughty, Terry.
Oh, so yeah, well, yeah, no, same thing.
Terry's word for it, right?
How come you're over here?
Oh, I just come for a little bit. I only live around the corner.
Do you? Jake. You were playing over
No, apparently if they get me, they get you as well, Terry. So we'll have to have a chat about it.
What's the cut?
More valuable than any player I know.
So this is how the comp should be. Well, this is when both teams are warming up all up.
Yeah.
They'll all like turn up and say, "Hey, how they going?" And all that stuff. And he's like, "Hey, they're competing together."
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Well, I suppose the playing in the country cup side, it brings players together from all over the place.
That's one thing I like about our competition, and juniors or seniors do the same. So, like for example, the Singleton guys, like they're a mixed match of a few different clubs over time. I don't think there's any real enemy sides, like it might change from one year to the next.
From Jarramaroo, aren't you, from it? When we played Jarramaroo.
Unfair. It's a big difference.
We get on with real except
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's
derby.
competitive.
So I'll say derby. Coming after. It's a derby.
Jake is our coach.
Yeah, he's obviously.
Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Okay, and we are back on here. Second innings. We have Singleton Irwinians chasing 120 to get through to the grand final and defend their title they won last year. Opening the batting here for Singleton, we have Tim Hutchison and Brad Ranford. Opening the bowling, we have Mitchell Smith doing his best impersonation of Stuart Broad here, I reckon, with the headband. A few headbands out here tonight. So Ranford on strike. And good bit of zip there by Mitchell Smith, but unfortunately the direction just not quite where it wants to be. So run rate required at the start of the game here is 5.95 in order to win this game. So run rate's not going to be an issue, I wouldn't have thought. But wickets will be. As that one's chipped in the air. And we have our first wicket. Good bit of pace there by Mitchell Smith, and I think he beat Ranford for pace there. Ranford trying to work that one through mid-wicket. More of a leading edge, and that just chipped in the air. And without the numbers on the back of the Shoalwater tops, they all look very, very similar in their maroon and gold, or maroon and orange, or maroon and gold, we'll say. So, not quite sure who caught that, but it was someone from Shoalwater who caught that. We can confirm that. And what we can also confirm is the score is 1 for 2. So this brings marquee player Nick Maiolo in, and two very experienced cricketers here. Okay, so we've just had a correction in the score. It was Anthony Burt who opened the batting there. So the players cheekily changed shirts and changed numbers and all that sort of stuff without telling the scorers. So that was Anthony Burt who was out caught then, not Brad Ranford. So sorry, Brad. But that is Nick Maiolo that's gone out to bat. So two very experienced cricketers out there. As in comes Mitchell Smith. Good pace. Nice athletic approach. Good strong follow through. Some really good seam bowling on display here throughout the competition, highlighting the strength of the seam bowling in the Pure Cricket Association. Maiolo just works that one for third man, takes the single. So you've got two very experienced players here. Tim Hutchison, who's played a few different places. He's played a bit of cricket in Albany, a bit of cricket in Bunbury. Played some cricket, obviously, here in Peel. He's also played some Premier cricket for Midland Guildford. There's Mitchell Smith strikes Hutchison on the pads, but sliding down the leg side. So, 1 for 3. Coming up to the final ball of the first over, 1 for 3. Thank you to everyone that's pointed out that we got it wrong at the start. But we did have an excuse. Yeah. So Hutchison just defends that to mid-off. That ends the first over. 1 for 3. 1 for 3. And Mitch Smith starts with 1 for 2. Successful over there for the big fast bowler. And my main man, Bjorn Borg, is coming on from the Mahogany Drive end. We'll see if he puts one on for the show, for the commentators here. Bowled very, very well last time we saw him. Really, really good control of skill the last time we saw Matty Skelton on the coverage for the RetraVision Premier T20 League. Basically bowled 24 balls and they were all completely different. That was the beauty of it. Bowled slower, quicker, wider the crease, closer to the stumps, shorter, fuller. Really controlled his skills very, very well and really set it up for his team. As in he comes, left arm over the wicket and straight away on the money. Up and about here, Shoalwater, and they need to be. They need to just keep control, but attack. Couple more wickets here, and it's game on as Mayolo takes a little trot down the wicket. Works that one through the leg side. Leg buys, according to the umpire. They take a single anyway. 1-4. So the boundary riders here, long on and long off, suggests that Skelton's going to bowl quite full. And that's the way the left-handed Tim Hutchins will be thinking as well. The field, the message he's been given by the bowler here is that I'm going to attack the stumps and bowl really full. And then he bowls that. I'm not sure that's what he planned to do, and he got away with it somehow. They can go the double bluff, but he got away with that one. That's more the length. There we go. Well, that one's wide. Can't afford to give away too many extras here. Shoalwater. As in comes Skelton. And Hutchison just misses out on that one. But again, I think it's just that he just changes it up. Just makes it hard for the batters to line him up. And really good skills on display here. And Hudson gets onto the back foot and slaps that one through backward point. Doesn't quite get the boundary. Like I mentioned earlier, the grass just a little bit longer than what you'd probably expect. And Hutchison able to get 2. He moves on to 2. And Singleton on to 7. They are 1 for 7. 1 ball left of this. The second over, and we see there Skelton just change up his bowling action a little bit. Just something different. It just means the batter just picks up something slightly different. Straight away be going, hang on, what's that? And he might just take his focus off the ball. I really like what I see there. Skelton having to think about what he's doing, and really, really good to see. I think it's still Smith. I think the headband. He don't want to take the ball out of his hand, I reckon, after his first over. So, got away with that one there. Smith, sort of thigh-high full toss. Mayolo unable to get onto that. In comes Smith charging in. Gets Mayolo on the pads again. But able to get that into sort of a vacant, short, square leg, we'll say. And the two batters trot through for a single. 1 leg by, 1 for 8. 112 required from 106, Singleton to get through. Bowled again by Smith, nice and tight. Really good start here by Shoalwater Bay. Defending their total very, very well. So Skipper D'Alessandro be trying to work out what's he do here, what's he do next. Obviously, they've only got 4 overs each, these two. Does he try to get another wicket? Does he keep Mitchell Smith on? Or does he back him in, or back his team to take it deep? As Hutchison just takes that one back with a point to the third man for a single. He moves on to 3. 1 for 9. Mayolo back on strike as long on goes out to the boundary. With a long on and a long off. As fine leg comes to short fine leg inside the circle. As in comes Mitch Smith. Mayolo takes a step down. Doesn't quite get onto that. And gets a 2 out to sort of a straightish cover. The mid-off is actually inside the circle. There's just someone on the outside boundary. The 12th man who probably needs to put a vest on or something. In comes Smith. The Mayolo takes another couple of steps down the wicket, just over the top. I think it's D'Alessandro there at cover. And that's 2 to Mayolo, who moves on to 5. And the score now 1 for 13 after 3. So you can just see the experience there, and this isn't it's not a criticism at all, but you can just see the experienced, WACA Premier player who's sort of reading the play a little bit and deciding, okay, there's not that much risk here. I can afford to look to just hit over the top of mid-off, the offside there. It's a relatively safe shot. I'll change the length a little bit by moving down the wicket a little bit. And they're just able to just move the score along. And Hutchison hits that high. And the slip, who's running backwards there, never really looked in control there at all. And Hutchison gets away with that. Tried to whip that over a short fine leg. Only managed to get a leading edge. And it went high. And the slip fielder just couldn't steady himself under it. And dropped what could be a crucial drop. Get a single. Mayolo's on strike and he hits it high. And there's another drop. That's very disappointing here on Shoalwater. That's 2 in 2. And they're 2 senior batters here have been dropped. One ball after the other. Unfortunate for Matt Skelton, who's bowled very well. And this one's hit down the ground. And the 2 straight fielders can't get to it. And that's a boundary. So 1 for 20 now. Both batters have decided. Looks like a team strategy. They're going to go and they're going to go hard. Going to take this game on. I don't want it to go deep. What Skelton got up in his bag of tricks. Well, that one back of a length. And Mayolo worked that one around the corner. Couldn't quite beat the short fine leg or the short backward square. A little bit disappointed himself there. Thinks he missed out on one. Hardly seen the ball hit the stumps. Normally we see the lights flash up quite a bit. And Skelton again, just showing his skill set here. Just changing the length, changing the speed. And even an experienced player like Nick Mayolo just can't quite get onto him. Well bowled. Oh no. No ball. No ball. So free hit. Not really what they can afford here. So that's 2 off that one. So 1 for 22. So 98 required off 97 here. And Hutchison has a free hit. Oh, the joys of modern batting, eh? Getting a free hit. And Hutchison just picks that one up and hoiks that over square leg. A couple of bounces for 4. Skelton will be disappointed with himself there. And that ends a productive over. Singleton are now 1 for 26 off 4 overs. And Skelton's gone for 16. And we see a change of bowling here at the Old Coast Road end. No, they don't. You're right. So, reliably informed. This is Jared O'Brien coming on from the Old Coast Road end. Quite well the last time we saw him. I think it was after the first over. Got his line and length right. And yeah, he got his length completely wrong then. And Mayolo hoiks that around. Hits that over backward square for 6. I was just about to say, being the sort of slightly moist pitch out there, ever so slightly, it's a hit the wicket type wicket, but at the same time you can't bowl halfway down. It's got to get a little bit fuller than that. Well, he didn't get all of that, but he got enough to hit it for 6. They move on to 32. Then comes Boyd. That length a little bit better. Got away with that one, but it was a little bit better. Probably needs to be another foot fuller. His natural action, he's going to hit the wicket hard. And he comes off a short approach, and that's a better length. Line's completely wrong. And it allows Malda to work that one around the corner. And some really good running here by the bat. By Hutchison in particular. And that's 3 leg byes. It looks quite strong on his legs, Nick Mayolo. So you'd think the Shoalwater Bay bowlers would be thinking, right, we've got to attack off stump, just outside, maybe a 4 stump line, nice and full, but allow him to swing his hands through the ball. And no real protection on the leg side here, so he wants to make sure he gets it the length right. And Hutchison identified that and tried to take it on. Not sure he got anything. But it's beaten everyone. Good bit of fielding on the boundary there. We'll see what the umpire has to say. 2 more leg byes. So they just need to get the field right here. Concerned. Lack of protection on the leg side boundary here. How's that one? Big shout for LBW. And that's got Hutchison. He changed the length completely. Hold that really, really full. And Jared O'Brien, although expensive, has a crucial breakthrough. Hutchison out LBW for 8. And the score now 2 for 37. So that was a big, big wicket there by O'Brien. And we saw a bit of this the last time we saw O'Brien on our coverage. First over was a little bit rusty, sort of didn't quite get it right. And then he come back on and really bowled well for his next 3. So this time we're pretty sure this is Brad Ranford coming out to bat in the shirt that Anthony Burt had on originally. And Anthony Burt coming out in the shirt that Brad Ranford had on originally. So they're just playing tricks with us here. So Brad Ranford, who likes to take the game on. Really attacking, entertaining batter. Jared O'Brien finished his first over, which has been successful. And they take a quick single and get there comfortably in the end. And Ranford off the mark straight away. O'Brien went for 7 then, which included a 6. So after that, he came back and bowled well, including the wicket, crucial wicket of Tim Hutchison. Singleton are now 2 for 38 at the end of 5, chasing 120 to be the first team through to the final of this season, 21-22 RetraVision Premier T20 League Cup. And it looks like Skelton will continue from the mahogany drive end, bowling to the left-handed Ranford. We have a long on and a long off as the two boundary riders, and then a ring field after that. Slow ball to start, and Ranford picks it well. Just clips that off his toes round the corner. Very single. That's probably only the third time we've seen those stumps light up. Come on, bowlers, hit them. One of the highlights of the week, seeing those stumps light up. Really, really enjoy. In comes Singleton, and Mayole just about takes Greeny, the umpire's head off. He still moves well, does Greeny. He's limping a little bit there, looks a bit sore. Played a few games of vets cricket this year for Peel Cricket Association with Greeny, and he's a handy bat. That one's short, and Ranford, I reckon he's gloved that just about. Ball might have just followed him a little bit. So Scout might have just run his fingers down the side of that one and gripped and come back a bit. And what looked like a pretty easy cut shot for the left-hander. Tied him up in the end and gloved the single. And Singleton throws that one up a bit fuller. Mayole trying to hit us here in the scoreboard position, which is pretty much cow corner, right on the pavilion. Did he miss that? And it's a good over this. He's got 2 balls to finish it. Just change his action a little bit there, change the pace, and Mayole just runs that to short third. Oh! Geez, I reckon a direct hit was very tight. Single in the end, 2 for 42. So they're flying along here, Singleton. 78 required of 85 remaining balls. And that one there's just too short, too wide. And Ranford's able to cut that one. Good slide there by Shoalwater Field. Probably didn't need to in the end. The long grass stopped it, but to Ranford. He moves on to 5, and the score 2 for 44 at the end of 6 overs. So Shoalwater desperately need a couple more wickets here to really make a dent into the batting lineup here. Really put a bit of a fright into the Singleton Irwinians' plans, because at the moment they're in total control. So power play is now over. The field can spread a little bit more. We have a long off and a long on. That's about it. The rest are inside the circle. And Mayole sort of sits back deep as O'Brien pitches that up. And Mayole hits that beautifully through the cover field. Can only get the 2. So it's a bit of a slow outfield today, slower than usual. Allows the long off to run around and get that. A classy shot, that one. With the first shot we've seen him hit through the offside, really. O'Brien, slow ball, and Mayole picked that and just chips that out to the deep mid-wicket area for a single. He moves on to 23, a breezy 23 of 21. And Singleton on to 47. We are in the 7th over here. Shoalwater really need another wicket, or another 2 at least. And Ranford hits that one hard through the field, hits it straight to that long off, and they take a pretty easy single. The singles are okay. Wickets would be better. So in comes O'Brien off a relatively short approach. Another full toss and beats the cover. Disappointing. Good fielding there. Good quick release. Good return. Well done. It probably should have been a dot. It's little moments like that. You know, the right-hand, left-hand change because of the misfield. They need to stop everything. Just every run's important. As Ranford just works that one solidly through the leg side, and they take two, just about get in. Clean take. May have been a chance, but a good two. Very proactive batting here by Singleton. Have some experienced campaigners here. They are the current RetraVision T20 Cup holders, looking to get into their second final in a row as O'Brien bowls quite an obvious slow ball, but still got to play it. And it's another leg by. That ends the 7th over here, Hillwood Reserve. 2 for 52 off 7 overs. Singleton, and they are chasing 120 for victory. So a change of bowling at the Mahogany Drive end, and part of the headband crew, Jackson Ford coming on, who had some pretty handy figures the last time we saw him. Bit of a sort of stuttery approach, but was able to pick up 3 wickets at the end and help contribute to a win, which is what it's all about. So in comes Ford, little sort of stuttery approach, and Ranford just chips that one back with a point, take a quick single, good bit of fielding. That's what I like to see, those zing stumps light up. So one more to Ranford, he moves on to 9 off 8. Score now 2 for 53. Everything's in place, stumps are fixed. We're ready to play some more cricket. In comes Ward. Bowls that one short. Gets away with it. I think the lack of pace allowed him to get away with that. And Mayolo probably had about 3 swings of that by the time he got it. And just sort of dribbled off to square leg. Gets a single. Brings Ranford back on strike. Good dot ball there by Ward. So for Ranford, we have a deep mid wicket, a long on and a long off, as well as a deep cover. So again, going to attack fairly straight. Keeper standing up. And not sure whether that was a change of pace or just didn't quite come out right, but it was a dot ball in the end, and that's all that matters. None for 2 off this is first over. 2 for 54. And Ranford just has enough of this. Gets on one knee and hoiks that around the corner to the fine leg boundary and gets 4. Ranford moves into double figures. He's on 13. And Singleton are on 2 for 58. 1 ball remaining of this, the 8th over. It's important Ward's straight. Can't afford to lose his line. Run out chance. Not quite. So the Singleton batters are able to get through there. It's a bit of a chunk, that one, but they'll take that. So 2 for 59. Ranford on 13. So Shoalwater really need one of the bowlers to step up here and do something special. It could be something in the field. Could be one of the fielders doing something special. A run out. A great catch. A great stop. Just a little bit of a change. Got to change it up a bit here. As one of the other very, very impressive line of young junior players that have been on show here in the RetraVision Premier T20 League throughout the whole competition. And we have young Mitch Oliver with his very, very accurate leg spin. This will be a real good test for him. Got left hand, right hand, very attacking left-hander, very experienced right-hander. A good test for the young bowler, but he's stood up to every test so far. So let's see what Mitch Oliver's got. Just hold that one into the pitch. Ranford only able to get a single to mid-wicket. Every time we've seen Mitchell come on the bowl, he's been really impressive, and more than anything, his plans. He knows exactly what he wants to do, sets his field. For a young bowler, it's great to see. We've got a deep mid-wicket, a long on, a long off, and we're going to have a fairly straight cover on the boundary as well. And he comes. Good length to skid through that one a little bit. And not a bad start here for the young leg spinner. Bit of very experienced Nick Marlowe. He tries to hit that one through the offside and point. Parries that wide. Allows Marlowe to get through for another single. He moves on a 26 of 25. Singleton on to 61. They only need 59 more runs from here, and they have 69 more balls to get them. So it's all about the wickets here. What can Shoalwater do? Good bit of flight there by Oliver. Ranford tried to play a reverse sweep around the corner. Didn't quite get it. Good dot ball. And that one just back of a length allows Ranford to work that one around the corner, and they take the single. 2 for 62. Ranford on to 16. Be very interesting here if Shoalwater are prepared to take a bit of a gamble here and actually attack the batting of Singleton a little bit more. And by that I mean maybe get a catcher or two in position, even for a few balls in an over. It's all about wickets. Because at the moment, it just looks a little bit easy for Singleton. They just work the ball around. There's no real pressure on them. And there's no point saving single. They've got plenty of time. So the only way Shoalwater are going to win this is by taking wickets. So sometimes you've got to be prepared to lose in order to win. It's not much of a risk, but just a short cover, like a very short cover, maybe a slip or so the deep. We've got a deep backward point on the edge of the circle there, doing nothing, and we've got a forward point. I'm not quite sure what's happening there. And then they misfield it, so it defeats the whole purpose of it all. So this is what pressure does. It's semi-final time. This is the business end. And this is what you play sport for. You play for the pressure. You want to be part of this. It's a privilege. In comes the creeping Jackson Ward, creeping approach. And Myolo pulling out all his bag of tricks there. A little reverse lap to that vacant sort of third man area. Just got to beat that backward point, and he's got a lot of acreage there. In comes Ward. Sort of slower ball, and that's a very good shot. And a good bit of fielding there too. This is why I enjoy T20 so much. It enables players to show the skill, show off a bit, you know, like the Harlem Globetrotters, you know what I mean? Just go out there and just show what you've got. It's pitched up, and Ranford tries to bully that one through the offside, but doesn't beat the cover fielder. And it's a rare stop in the last few overs. Been a little bit sloppy, Shoalwater today in the field. In comes Ward. And Ranford hoiks that one straight to the deep mid-wicket and takes the catch. And that could be the start of something here for Shoalwater. That's a big, big wicket. Deep into the night sky. Ranford hit that one hard and flat. That would have had a lot of side spin, and that would have been swinging a little bit as it got to the deep mid-wicket. But they stood their ground and took a great catch. And that's the third wicket to fall. And maybe, just maybe, they've just opened up an end. This is very similar to what we saw the last time with Jackson Ward as well. Just somehow found a way to just get some wickets. That's a big wicket. There's a very exciting batter is Ranford. Can tear attacks apart. And in comes another experienced cricketer, Bryce Evans. Coming off a little bit of form, got 50 himself a couple of games ago. I think he's played a lot of cricket this year. Missed a fair few games. As tends to happen. Life gets in the way. Yep, it's all good. So one left-hander replaces another one. We have one ball left in this, the 10th over. Singleton 3 for 64 at the moment. In comes Ward for the final. Sorry, I got that one wrong. It is Bryce Evans. And I said left-hander. What do I know? The right-hander. He's batting the double left, which is the right. But don't worry about me. And here's the lights and sirens we get here every week. There's two of them. That's fire. They're coming this way. Oh no. Well, they are. They're coming down here. Here comes Oliver. Back of a length. Milo unable to beat backward point. So 3 for 64. Milo slaps that one through to the cover fielder, and they take a 1. Could we get a comparison at the 10 over mark? Oh, there you go. It's, even Stevens at the moment. Although there was a period coming up where Shoalwater really just dug themselves into a bit of a hole. So a couple of wickets here, and it's definitely game on. On comes Oliver. Nice and full, real good control of his length, the young leg spinner. And what I like as well, he's really getting some good pace. Reading the game and bowling what's required of a leg spinner in T20, really. You know, just a bit short, stuck in the wicket, gets away with it. That's 1 to Evans, and Singleton on to 66. we have a long off, a long on, a deep mid wicket, and a deep cover as the boundary riders at the moment. And Myolo turns in a left-hander yet again and tries to work that one around the corner. Could have probably just played that as a conventional drive and got the one out to the cover here. But sort of take a bit of a risk, that one, and you make up your mind early. And there we go. Just stood there and played a more conventional shot and gets the single. And another very, very impressive over by the young Mitch Oliver. None for 6 off his 2. And the score is 3 for 67 here. Hillwood Reserve in the first semi-final of the RetraVision Premier T20 League. The winner through to the final. So Singleton get through. They get a chance to defend the title they won last year. Shoalwater get through. Great way to a nice little ending on what's been quite a successful season for the club. In comes Ward. Myolo hits that one hard. Great piece of fielding there on at the long off boundary. They take 2. Get there in the end, but what a piece of fielding. Diving full length to stop a certain boundary, and then quickly back on his feet, throws it back in nice and flat. They only get 2. Ready for 69. Myolo onto 31. Sits back deep. And only manages just to bunt that one back to the bowler. Dot ball. So Ward coming in. 1 for 11 in his third over. And shout for LBW as he tries to work that one into that vacant acreage around the corner. Couldn't have been too far away, that one. Be interesting to see that one straight on, but they don't seem too disappointed. Bit of a change in the field, or... Oh, the light's on again. They don't quite understand that they're just straight in the eyes of the batters and the wicketkeeper. In comes Ward. Bit of a slow ball at the back of the hand. And Myolo hit that one hard. Just about took young Jackson Ward's head off. Probably did well to get out of the way of that one. I think sometimes you've just got to preserve your safety. Evans hardly hit any. He's hit that one high into the sky. Bit of vacant real estate out there, no one out there. And about 3 Shoalwater players converge to get the ball. A fairly safe shot in the end there. 3 off 4, and the score now 3 for 72. Well, both scorers had 1 ball left in the over, but both umpires agree that it's over, so it's over. Umpires are in charge of the game, and that's all okay. So we have Nick Myolo on 32 off 36, Bryce Evans on 3 off 4. Again, I doubt they'd be listening to the coverage, but if they are, or if anyone does, you are coming down to watch these games, turn your headlights off. Plenty of light. Very, very good lights here at Hillwood Reserve, allowing us to play. Great spectacle. Bowled again. Myolo with really fast hands. Generates really good speed through the ball. And Mitch Oliver, good control of his skill. Myolo again with those fast hands, able to sweep that to a vacant square leg, and that's 4 runs. That's a very, very good shot. Most impressive part of that was the speed, hand speed through the ball. Real snap. And pretty safe shot in the end. And threw that one a little bit wider, Mitch. And Mayala was able to sort of slap that through a point area with fast hands again. Although he's disappointed with himself there, I don't think he needs to be. Field's quite spread here, so there's not too much you can do. Dot balls are going to be really hard to bowl. That's well bowled. Mayala showing all his experience here. He moves on to 39 or 40. Singleton on to 79. They only need 41 more. Doing this quite easily at the moment as Evans tries to tickle that past the short third man. He only misses it in the end. That's a dot ball. Threw that one up there, Mitch. He changed his pace. That's another solid over by the young spinner. He bowled 3 overs, none for 13. And after 13 overs, 3 for 79, Singleton Irwinians, who have probably got half a foot in the final in 2 weeks' time. Only half. So it's very close. It's still a run difference in regards to where Shoalwater were at the same stage. So it looks like Ward to finish off his spell. And this is actually quite an important over. It's amazing to think that they need their lights. I can't understand why. Anyway, so the hold up in play, people, you can't see on the screen, but again, just another car with their headlights on. There we go. Finally, they turned them off. Parked up to watch the cricket, which is fine. They don't need their headlights on. Anyway, back to the cricket. Down comes Ward. Very important over in the whole scheme of the match. And Mayala again with those fast hands tries to get through the field, but it's a dot ball. So Ward's bowled very impressively again. He's got 1 for 14. This is his final over. And just back of a length, Mayala hits it high. Big wicket's under it. And there's a big wicket. So that's a very, very important wicket. And I did say this is an important over, and maybe that is a match-turning wicket. So Jackson Ward, again, doing the damage. That's his second wicket. He has 2 for 14. But more importantly, Singleton are now 4 for 79. And that is the key wicket of Nick Mayala, out for 39. Very well made 39, but only 39. So Bryce Evans is on 3 off 6, so he's still sort of finding his way. And Mitch Shallum, keeper, coming out to join Bryce. Now the next, so we've got 4 balls left of this over. And then the next over, again, become very, very important in the whole scheme of things. If Shoalwater can keep these next 10 balls tight, and even better, get another wicket, we have a serious game on our hands. As in comes Ward. And Evans able to just tickle that through a vacant sort of slip third man area. And they take 2. Oh no, he didn't tickle it. It was buys. Missed by everybody. Every little ball, everything has to be tight here. They can't afford anything. Everyone has to do their part here for Shoalwater. In comes Ward again. Evans tries to run that. Probably not enough pace. So 2 for 14 with 2 balls remaining in this spell for Jackson Ward, which has been very, very impressive. Hasn't missed his lines or his lengths at all, really. Hasn't given the batters much room to swing on a slowish sort of wicket. He's been very hard to get away. And there's another dot ball. Get the ball in. Pressure's building here. This is good. Good cricket. So who's going to crack first here? Do we see the 5th Singleton Irwinians wicket to fall, or do we see a boundary? Let's see. Here we go. And well bowled in the end, and that ends a very impressive spell of bowling by Jackson Ward. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 14. So that was a wicket maiden there to finish his spell. That's extremely impressive bowling. So the next bowling pair have got a real big job on their hands. I think the experienced Mitchell Smith will be coming back on at the end of this over from this end, I would have thought. Big over here for the young leg spinner. To Shalom, who's yet to face a ball. I'd have a slip or a catcher in here or something. And that's out. First ball. Shalom goes back, hits him on the pads, hits him adjacent, and the umpire had no hesitation. And Mitch Oliver gets his first wicket. Well deserved. He's bowled very, very well. And that has set the cat amongst the pigeons here. That's the 5th Singleton Irwinians wicket to fall. And at 5 for 81, everybody, we have a serious game of cricket on our hands here. This is Nathan Anderson, who basically pulled his team over the line the last time we saw Singleton. It was Anderson and the injured Josh Senior who got him over the line the last time we saw Singleton in RetraVision Premier T20 League action. But that was then, this is now. As Anderson takes guard, has a look around. I'd really like to see shoulder attack here. I'd like to see another catcher. The game is on here. This is where you win and lose it. 1 for 13, young Mitch Oliver. In he comes. And Anderson off the mark straight away. It's where you just wonder, just a couple of balls. Just put a bit of pressure on. Don't let them get off strike. Another dot ball. Just reading the play. It's easy from here. It's easy from here. And Evans just about gets onto that one. Hits the sweep off balance, but hits it well enough to get 2. He moves on to 5. And Singleton stumbling a little bit here. They're on 5 for 84. Just back of a length there, Oliver. And Evans able to work that one around the corner. There's 2 balls left in what's been yet another impressive spell of bowling by the young leg spinner. Hopefully he's enjoying his time playing in the competition and learning with every ball. Slight adjustment to the field as in he comes, throws that one up. Anderson just takes a couple of steps down the wicket and taps that to long off, takes the single. 5 for 86, chasing 120 to win. 34 required, with 31 balls remaining. Drama building up. A little bit of a lull. In he comes. How's that? Big shout for LB, and there's another one! There's another wicket! Evans trying to sweep that one. Probably a little bit too full. Hit him straight in front. And again, umpire had no hesitation. And the big crowd are cheering on the Singleton Irwinians captain, Daniel Jones, who's going out and he has to do a rescue mission here. Because his side are now 6 for 86 and in big trouble, chasing 1-2-0 to win. Mitchell Oliver, another very good spell of bowling and deserved wickets there. 2 for 18 in what's been a very good spell. So Ward and Oliver have really dragged the team back in it. So I did call it. I did say the next 10 balls are going to be very big, and they took 2 wickets at least. So O'Brien swapped ends, and this is reminiscent of the last time we saw Shoalwater playing in the RetraVision Premier T20 League. I'm just having a look at the field, so that was the pause. So they have got a very straight deep mid wicket, a very straight long on, long off, deep mid wicket. And in comes O'Brien. It's a nice length. They take a quick single. There's Anderson, and that brings T20 captain for Singleton Irwinians in Daniel Jones on strike. With his team under the pump at 6 for 87. They need another 33 to win after 29 remaining deliveries. But as we saw the last time, they looked down and out. They were gone. And they came back to win. So don't write off this team just yet. Oh, and there it was. That could be a game changer. What looked a relatively straightforward catch. O'Brien got the edge. And unfortunately, keeper put him down. So a bit of pressure here. Mistakes happening everywhere. The keeper needs to forget about that one. That's gone. That is gone, and it's all about the next ball. So pressure on both teams here. They both know winner gets through to the final. Ball's hit in the air by Jones. Chips it over cover. Able to get 2. That moves them on to 89. 31 required from 26. Good slow ball there by O'Brien. There's no need to panic here by anybody really. Still plenty of time for Singleton to win this. And there's obviously, well, Shoalwater need 4 balls to win it really. 4 wickets to win. Jones hits that one, chips that one in the air to a vacant sort of cover. A good bit of fielding there by the straightish cover. So 1 for 18. It could have been 2 for 18 there, or 2 for even less maybe. And Singleton could have been 7 wickets down, but they are 6 wickets down. Let's say this would be Mitchell Smith coming back on the bowl. What a very impressive spell in his first spell, including a wicket in his first over. 1 for 7 off his 2. Very, very good start there. Been impressive throughout the games that we've seen Shoalwater bowl. 2 games that we've seen so far. This is the 3rd, and he's just continued. He bowled very, very well. Nice, easy approach to the wicket. Nice high action. catch. No. And that's Jones just chipping that over backward point. And gets a much needed boundary for Singleton. Just eases a little bit of pressure. 6 for 94. 26 required now of 22 balls. And 4 wickets required for Shoalwater. Or a lot of dot balls. In comes Smith. And Skelton's just a little bit slow off the mark then. That's unusual. It's unusual. He's one of the better fielders in the team, but he's just a little bit slow off the mark then and allowed Jones to get another 2. And all of a sudden he's on 9 off 8 and the score moves on to 96. 6 for 96. In comes Smith. And Jones just hits that one down the ground. A long off for a single. Score on to 97. He moves on to 10. They'd really love a wicket here. Would Shoalwater. In he comes, Smith, charging in. Good length, bowling his field. Much better than by Skelton in the field. That's more like the Matty Skelton we've seen in this competition so far. 6 for 98, 22 required. In comes. Beats the outside edge. And that ends Smith's third over. He has 1 for 15 and Singleton and Irwinians are 6 for 98. 22 required off 18 balls. O'Brien to bowl his final over. What could have been a little bit more impressive spell, but unfortunately they have a drop catch and they've dropped a few tonight, Shoalwater, and maybe that could be the difference. In comes O'Brien, good length. Anderson able to hit that one through vacant offside field. They take the 2 and get there in the end. And that gets Singleton into the 3 figures. They are now 6 for 100. They need 20 of 17 balls. Shoalwater would love a wicket here. In comes O'Brien. Slower ball. Ball chipped in the air. Oh no! That's another drop catch. That's about 5 to my count, I think, at least. 4 drops. In a tight game, just can't afford to do it. O'Brien swinging a miss. 6 for 101. 19 off 15. This is where the dot balls are massive. Every dot ball counts. Every single ball here is vital. Shoalwater players all need to be on the ball. Every battle has to be won. That's hit down the ground and hits the non-striker, but that's okay. They'll take a single. Tried to get out of the way. Not his fault. So 6 for 102. 18 required off 14. In comes O'Brien. Good bit of fielding there. Really good fielding. Dot ball. Good dot ball. It's little moments like that. They're little game changers. And this is where T20 cricket's vital. Every ball counts. That's why it's such an exciting form of the game. In he comes. Ryan and Anderson able to work that one to the deep mid wicket. They take the single. That ends O'Brien's spell. Very unlucky. 1 for 23. Could easily have had another 2 wickets at least, if not more. This now becomes arguably the most important over of the game. So Smith will have to use every last ounce of his experience here. So 17 required off the last 2 overs of this fixture. So what have they got? They've got a third man, deep mid-wicket, long on, long off, and a deep cover. As in comes Smith. Holds it nice and full, and Anderson can only hit that one straight to long off for a single. That brings the Singleton captain in Daniel Jones on strike. Mitchell Smith has 1 for 16, 3.1. He'd dearly love to have 2 for 16. As Jones hits that one in the air, and just as I call it, Mitchell Smith bowls a slow ball there. Jones threw it too early, gets a leading edge, and that's caught and bowled. And that is a massive, massive wicket. And I did call it, this is a huge over, most important over of the game. The Jones out for 11, caught and bowled Smith, 7 for 104. 16 runs required off the remaining 10 balls. And the winning combination from the last time Singleton got together, Josh Senior and Nathan Anderson, they dragged the Irwinians over the line from despair. I've got no idea how they did it, but they did. Can they do it again? Yeah. He's moving a little bit easier than he did the last time we saw him. Can they do it again? So who's it going to be? It's gone down to this. 16 off 10. 3 wickets. Everyone's on edge here. The crowd, the players. Calmest one here, I think, is Terry McNeil. So, Senior looks around and he sees a third man, a cover, long off, long on, deep mid-wicket. And then pretty much a ring field from there. Mitchell Smith bowled very, very well yet again. In he comes, right arm over the wicket. Nice and full. And good bit of fielding there by Jackson Ward. Desperate stuff. Just get a single. 7 for 105. 15 off 9. So hopefully you're enjoying the coverage tonight, everyone out there. Another great game. In comes Smith. Holds it nice and full. And he could only get the single. 7 for 106. 2 balls remaining in this, the penultimate over of the first semi-final, RetraVision Premier T20 League. How lucky have we been to see this fantastic cricket as in comes Smith. Beats him. Beats everything. How did that miss the stumps? No one can believe that. Geez, I know we're square on, but how did that miss? Anyway, dot ball. Dot balls are very, very important. As in he comes, Smith, his last ball of his spell. Beats the outside edge. Another dot ball. And what's been a fantastic spell of bowling here by Mitchell Smith. He finishes with 2 for 18 off his 4 overs. And we have the equation. 14 required off this, the final over of the match. Wow. So, Matt Skelton, who's had a big, big part in getting Shoalwater to this stage of the season, or this stage of the tournament, can he finish it off? Can he finish the job here and get his Shoalwater team into the grand final? We have been very, very blessed to watch a fantastic game of cricket here yet again. Just when you thought Singleton had this in the bag, Shoalwater refused to let go. In he comes. And dot ball. So it's a dot ball. Anderson unable to beat the straight cover, the straight short cover. So it is now 14 off 5. This is where the fielders have just got to keep their calm, keep their nerve as well. Just hold the ball, keep it still. No need to panic. Eddie Skelton, left arm, over the wicket. Here he comes. Just back of a length. And all they can do is get a single. Good bowling there, good bit of fielding, just got to be safe. 7 for 107, 13 required, 4 balls remaining. Can Shoalwater do it? Can they get themselves into a grand final? Or will the big fast bowler here, Josh Senior, will he hit a boundary or two and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat yet again? For Singleton. Takes guard. Has a look around. He sees a deep forward square leg, really. Deep mid-wicket, long on, long off, and a deep cover. In comes Skelton. And Senior sits back and hits that high and handsome. And that's 6 over backward square leg. So Josh Senior had a really good look. Picked his area. And unfortunately Skelton bowled it right into his wheelhouse there. 7 for 113. 7 remain. 7 required. 3 balls left in this game. In comes Skelton. What's he got left? So it's hit high. Square leg runs around. Drops it. Oh! Absolute miss. Absolute miss. And that's another drop catch. That is potentially the game. 5 off 2. No catch is easy. Semi-final, last over. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Calm heads required. Crowd all fired up. Everyone's fired up here. Everyone's nervous. Here we go. Well bowled there by Skelton. Well bowled. Kept his nerve. Can the big man do it? A boundary is a tie and a super over. I hope. That's in the regulations. I don't know. I'm presuming we'll have a super over. A 6 wins the game for Singleton. Anything other than that? And Shoalwater are through. In comes Skelton. And there it is! Shoalwater! It's a bit of panic here. Bit of panic. No need to panic. No need to panic. Shoalwater are through to the grand final of the RetraVision Premier T20 League in what is an amazing comeback. Singleton Irwinians finished 7 for 117, chasing 1-2-0 for victory. So that's a 3-run win for Shoalwater, and that is an amazing game of cricket. Yet another game that's gone down to the wire in what's been a great competition. We now know one of the grand finalists, and that is Shoalwater Bay, who are through to the grand final in 2 weeks' time here at Peelwood Reserve. And the defending champions, Singleton, they're knocked out in the semi-final. What a game of cricket. Yet again, Terry, it's never over until the last ball, eh? That is a great game of cricket. That's a credit to both teams here who've put on fantastic game of cricket. So the scorers just doing their bit, making sure it all adds up. When it's so close, it's always the way. Want to make sure it all adds up. But that there is an amazing game of cricket. So both innings had very, very similar moments where there was a period where the bowling team just got right on top, and that was at about the 11th to 12th over to about the 15th over. They both got stuck in that sort of period. And I guess runs on the board was the difference there. Batting first and getting runs on the board and getting ahead of the game. And that there was a very, very good game of cricket. Both teams had their foot into that final. But it was Shoalwater who took both feet, put them straight into that final, and they are through to the grand final of the RetraVision Premier T20 League. Who will they play? Well, we'll know next week when we're back here, 6:30 p.m, Hillwood Reserve, for the second semi-final, which promises to be just as exciting. Mandurah versus Hall's Head. So tune in next week for the second semi-final to see who will join Shoalwater Bay in the grand final of the RetraVision Premier T20 League. My name is Orazio Santalucia, and you have been watching the RetraVision Premier T20 League live and exclusive on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Channel. Congratulations to Shoalwater Bay through to a grand final of this exciting competition. We'll see you all next week. Goodbye for now.
What a great game, gents. Hopefully the final is just as